I'm going to talk to you today about why innovation might not be as easy to unlock in your organisation as you might think. Humans are innately creative and innovative and are always finding new ways of doing things. But yet in an organisation, innovations may not emerge. Ideas get stifled, changes don't stick. Harrison Network exists to help create the environments in which people and their ideas can flourish. And today I'm going to tell you about 3 of the barriers that we commonly face that stops people innovating in organisations, so that you can focus your attention and improve your organisational health. But firstly, why is innovation important for organisational health? And what do we mean by it? Businesses are constantly seeking their edge to stay ahead and fit the world in which they're operating. They're looking for innovation in product, in service, and in delivery mechanism. So when we think about the health of an organisation, it's its fitness. How fit is your organisation for the world in which it's operating? Or is it a square peg in a round hole? Let me explain. The world is changing constantly, and businesses are trying to keep up. You just take the last few years, for example, the pandemic, climate change, technology, wars. Each of these shifts the world. And a business will start out as a perfect fit for the world in which it's operating. But over time, as that world changes, the businesses can't keep up. For sure, they'll make incremental changes, small improvements, but the gap between the business and the world tends to get bigger and bigger and bigger over time, until eventually it becomes so big that the organisation goes into this flux period, and either it makes a huge transformational leap to fit the world again, or it fails. And we can all think of businesses that have failed in the last few years. Debenhams, Blockbuster, Woolworths. A healthy, fit organisation needs innovation in order to be able to respond to the changing environment and reduce the risk of becoming irrelevant. All organisations are perfectly designed to get the results they're getting right now. So if you and your organisation are looking for different results, for different performance, you need to do something differently. You need innovation. And that's what innovation is. Doing something differently in your business that creates value. Helping your organisation stay relevant in a changing world. It is not just about creative ideas. I mean, for sure, innovation needs creativity, it needs inventiveness. And humans are innately creative, trying to find a better way. But they don't much like change. And innovation needs both inventiveness and stickability in order to create the value for the organisation. Innovation is doing something differently to create value. So in an organisation, we have to unlock the inventiveness and enable the stickability. Sounds easy? Well, it should be, but we all know it's not. I've spent the last 20 years helping organisations change. Whether coaching senior executive teams, developing leaders, delivering innovation and change on the ground. And I've worked with global corporates, I've worked with national brands and with individual entrepreneurs, and the different levels of complexity in an organisation that can bring. We exist to help organisations create the environments in which both people and their ideas can flourish. So when I was asked to do this presentation, I challenged myself, what are the top 3 things that I think we regularly encounter that stops innovation from happening? And then I tested these with several other senior people in innovation across different industry sectors. And we've come up with 3 common barriers. So, why won't my people innovate? It's probably down to one of 3 things. Firstly, business processes. Your business processes and systems are probably placing a very effective stop on innovation happening in your business. Secondly, leadership capability. Leading a team through innovation means leading them through disruption and complexity, and that is hard. Do your leaders at all levels of the organisation have the capability to create the environment in which innovations can both emerge and take hold? And finally, what can be both the simplest and the hardest to fix, permission. Do your people have the permission to innovate? I'm going to take each of these in turn. Firstly, business processes. These can get in the way of innovation. For sure, they're important. Businesses need to be able to deliver a consistent, reliable service and reduce risk. You take Amazon, for example. They have to have this consistent, reliable service, otherwise we wouldn't use them. To do that, they need effective, efficient business processes. It relies on every part of the business working smoothly and sticking to the process. So business processes are super useful and super important and super inflexible. They exist to help us to work in the same way and deliver predictable results. They exist to stop us from doing things differently. Let's take an example. Let's take beer, for example. A large brewery is trying to find the same flavour of a beer every single time. Deliver consistency across all of its beers. That means its business processes and systems have to be set up to deliver everything to be the same. Whereas a small craft brewery might be seeking the opposite, seeking to find different flavours, seeking to change things. Because businesses are like elastic bands, and the processes are there to help that elastic band keep its shape. You can stretch it, but when you let go, bing, it's going to go back to its original shape. In order to truly change the organisation, you have to stretch it consistently over time until it can take on that new shape. And that takes leadership capability. Do your leaders have the capability and skills to inspire innovation and lead change? Do your leaders have the capability to empower people to come up with ideas, to try something new, to give it a go, to fail? Do your people, your leaders, have the skills and capability to coach people, to think for themselves, to own their problems, and to have the resilience to deal with it when things don't go to plan? And do your leaders walk the talk? Do they push themselves out of their comfort zone and try new things, even if they don't work? The alternative is, and it often happens accidentally, leaders are uninspiring, disempowering, tell people what to do instead of coach them, or say, do as I say, not do as I do. And that does not create the environment in which ideas can emerge and take hold. If you don't have psychological safety, ideas will not emerge. People won't come up with their ideas. If people feel like they're going to be punished or humiliated if they fail, if they get things wrong, they're not going to come up with ideas. And that leads into this third and final point, permission. Do your people have the permission to innovate? There are two elements to this. One part is easy to fix and one part not so much. The first bit, the easier fix, is time and space. Do your people have the permission, through giving them time and giving them space, to innovate? Have they got time to think? Have they got time to try? If they're billing all their hours to clients, they probably haven't. Have they got the space in which they can build something new, the space to try and fail, away from the processes that may be stifling them? Time and space, quite easy to fix. But do they have the permission to fail? What happens with failure in your organisation? How is it dealt with? Is it like SpaceX, where failure is celebrated when you blow things up? Woohoo! We've learned something. Or not? Or do you not know? And do you dare try? And that's the permission to fail. And finally, the permission to own the problem. If I own the problem and I care about the problem, I'm more likely to find a new way of fixing it. So why won't my people innovate? It's probably down to those three things: your business processes, leadership capability, and permission. And so I ask you to instead ask a different question. What will help my people innovate? What can I change in my business processes? How can I develop the leadership capability? What permissions do I need to give? Let me help you think this through for yourself. Where do you personally have your best ideas? Is it when you've got an open page, a new book, and you're looking at it thinking, oh, I can write down some great ideas? Or maybe you're somebody that likes to go out for a walk and get the headspace of the outdoors in order to come up with ideas. Or maybe you're somebody that likes to lie in the bath and relax and chill out and just let their mind wander free. But what if on that front page of the book there's a specific process you have to follow? What's that going to do for your creative juices? And what if when you're out on the walk, the mist comes down, you don't know where you're going, you get lost? What's that going to do for your headspace? And what if you're lying in the bath, mind running free, and suddenly someone bangs on the door, "Get out there now, it's my turn"? How is that going to impact your space in your head to think? So I'm going to ask you and leave you with this question. What will help you innovate? So the question is, what is stopping you from having or following up on great ideas at work? What is stopping you from having or following up on great ideas at work? Because whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're probably right. Thank you.